Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, April 15th. As always, I continue to thank those of you that stay loyal to these daily devotions. Of all the videos that I do, the daily devotions are still the most watched, which is awesome because that's 6 days a week. Morning, Marcy. So thank you for your commitment to God, your commitment to His Word. God will honor that. We're in Matthew chapter 16. I'm going to read verses 1 through 12. It says, the Pharisees and the Sadducees came to Jesus and tested him by asking him to show them a sign from heaven. He replied, when evening comes, you say it will be a fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, today it will storm, for the sky is red and overcast. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation looks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given except the sign of Jonah. Jesus then left and went away. When they went across the lake, the disciples forgot to take bread. Be careful, Jesus said to them, because be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They discussed this among themselves and said, is it because we didn't bring any bread? Aware of this discussion, Jesus asked, you have little faith. Why are you talking among yourselves about having no bread? Do you still not understand? Don't you remember the 5 loaves for the 5,000 and how many basketfuls you gathered? Or the 7 loaves for the 4,000 and how many basketfuls you gathered? How is it that you don't understand that I was not talking to you about bread? Be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Then they understood that he was not telling them to guard against the yeast used in bread, but against the teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Morning, John. Morning, Alicia. Isn't it amazing that the religious leaders at that time, they most likely knew about Jesus feeding the 5,000, the 4,000 miraculously. That word gets around. They knew of the many people that he had healed miraculously, and yet here they are asking for a miraculous sign. Gosh, what more do they need to see in order to believe in Jesus? Well, that's the true even today. But this is why Jesus warns the disciples not to listen to their teaching, because they were the lost. In verse, remember, look at it here in verse 12, where it says this. They understood he was not telling the guard against the yeast used the fear, but against the teaching of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. It's like say, don't listen to their teaching. It's like the blind leading the blind. And isn't it amazing today? I think about that, about people today that don't believe in Jesus or that Jesus is from God. Thank goodness for us. Listen to this in John 20:29, where Jesus said, because you have seen, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed. Marcy, John, Alicia, you haven't seen the miracles of Jesus, yet you believe. You believe simply by the word, by just the word itself. They saw it. They saw it with their own eyes and refused to believe. So blessed are you for believing. You had enough faith just to believe in what Scripture's told you. So here's my prayer. My prayer is that God will use Collision to reach more unsaved people. I pray that the people of Collision, you people that are part of Collision, that you will have a heart for the unsaved. That God will use even these video messages to reach the unsaved. So let me just share a little bit now about what I'm hoping that Collision will look like, okay? Good morning, Christina. It looks very promising that we're going to be able to start meeting on Sunday nights. And it's going to be a new Collision. It's going to be a new Collision. Sure, there'll be hopefully the same people there, hopefully more new people, but it's going to be a different location. It's going to be a different time. It's going to be a different atmosphere. There's going to be a lot of different things. It's going to meet in a different city. So it's going to be different. But at the same time, I don't want to take away that hunger that we have for reaching the lost. I don't want Collision to just be another church out there where people attend and then go home and lives are not changed. I want Collision to be more than that. I'm hoping that people that used to attend and stopped attending will come back. I'm hoping that people that used to go to church and just stopped going to church, period, will come back, will come to Collision. I'm hoping that more youth will attend because of the fact that it's easier to attend at 6 o'clock at night than it is getting up in the morning to go. I'm even hoping that people from other churches will come. Now hear me, not to steal them, because that's not real growth. When a person from another church comes to your church, that's just the shifting of the saints. I'm talking about where they go to their church in the morning and then they visit us on Sunday night, helping to create an atmosphere. Because what I'm hoping to get back again is that time when I heard over and over and over, when people came to Collision, they always talked about how they could feel the presence of the Holy Spirit. And energy does it. God, when the Holy Spirit is there, there's an incredible energy. There's an incredible feeling. I shared this with you before, but I remember my wife and I, before we were even saved, going to Calvary Chapel and sitting there in that sanctuary where they were singing, and I could just feel the presence of something. I didn't know what it was at the time, but now I look back and realize it was the presence of the Holy Spirit that I felt there. Made me want to go back. Made me want to go back to find out what is that. So I'm hoping that Collision will invite the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit will show up there. Unbelievers will come, feel the presence of that Holy Spirit. Visitors will come, feel that presence. Visitors from other churches will come, feel that presence. People that stop going to church will come and feel the presence of the Holy Spirit, because that's what changes lives. The Holy Spirit of God. Not man, woman. It's that Holy Spirit of God. So I'm hungry for the Holy Spirit to show up. We want to continue to change lives. Whenever we have sharing at Collision, you hear over and over about people sharing about how their lives have been changed. We want to reach unsaved people. John, you're watching this. You've shared many times with me how prior to Collision, you hadn't been to church in a long time. And then you started coming to Collision, and now look how faithful you are. You are faithful in every way. You were faithful every Sunday being there, showing up, giving hugs to people. You've been faithful through these video messages the whole year and 2 months that we've just had this. You've been faithful in your tithing. Your life has been changed, John. And that's what I want for other people, is for their lives to be changed drastically. So we want to reach John Saved. We want to reach the youth and children. We want to continue to get the best workers possible to work with our children, to work with the youth. We've already been blessed with great worship leaders. We've been blessed with great leaders in our church, leaders that continue to support the Collision all the way through the whole pandemic. Now the only thing we're looking for now is a great pastor. I was in my prayer time this morning. I was morning, Veronica. In my prayer time this morning, I was just overwhelmed thinking about that God chose to use little old Jim. That of all the people in the world, God chose me to be able to lead you people. It's humbling. It's humbling. And I was sitting there thinking, boy, I've got at least 10 years left, if not more. I've got at least 10 years. So we were in Palms Elementary for 10 years. and then 1 year now on just video. But 10 years we were at Palms, and I'm praying that God will give us 10 years now in our new location, and that we will continue to reach unsaved people, that lives will continue to be changed, that youth will come to church, that the youth, that next generation of youth will rise. We can help them to rise up to be leaders in the church. We're praying for all of that. We're praying for all of that. We don't want to be just another church out there. We don't want to just start another church. That I drove around in the area where we're looking at it, all the different churches in that area. And the pastor that met at that church before shared with me, don't expect to reach the people in that neighborhood. They're all grounded. They're already, those that are going to church are already in a church already. It's not going to be easy to reach those people. It's all established. So I don't want to just start another church. If we are going to reach those people in the neighborhood, it has to be with something different. And what I mean by different is not just that we come up with schemes. The difference is that the Holy Spirit shows up. That the Holy Spirit, that people walk in and just sense the presence of the Holy Spirit. Oh, I remember so many times when people visited Collision when we were at Palms, and so many times godly men and women from other churches that would visit us. Godly men and women, and they would visit us, and they would constantly say the same thing. Wow, I felt the presence of the Spirit here at your church. That's what we're looking for. That's what changes lives. So pray for that. We're getting closer. Okay? God bless you all. Thanks for watching. Look forward to when we can get together and start meeting again, and it's going to be soon and very soon. I can almost promise you that. Thank you for continuing to watch these devotions. Tonight will be our Bible study at 7 o'clock. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow at our next daily devotion at 8 o'clock. Have a great day. Share this if it meant something to you. God bless you all. Have a great day.